So buying property in Dubai is an exciting investment, but are you aware about all the hidden cost? So today I, Ansiba, with Syed Mahmood, welcome you to another episode of Inside Dubai Real Estate. And today we are going to break down all the additional expenses that buyers overlook while buying a property in Dubai. So welcome to the channel.
Thank you, Ansiba, for inviting me again for this episode.
Pleasure is all ours. And let's get quickly to the topic. Keeping all the additional cost about the properties, that takes me back to one of my relatives. She wants to buy a property in Dubai, and she called me a few days back, and she was telling me that many of them told her that rather than buying a property, the prices, there are all additional expenses as well. So what do you think, what cost she should be aware about?
So basically, if someone plan to buy a property in Dubai or in UAE, if you say, so there's a multiple, you can say there's additional charges, okay, you have to keep in mind. But it depends on the what type of property you are buying.
Okay.
So let's say if you are buying the property for the primary market, which we call off plan or under construction, or if you buy the property for primary secondary market, so there's other additional charges.
Okay.
So you have to keep in mind that what is your requirement and what type of property that you are buying, and then after that it depends the additional charges what is that comes to your property.
Okay, so that means that primary market and the secondary market have different cost.
For sure, there's a difference. Sure.
Let's break it down then step by step.
Yeah.
So what are the different costs for primary and the secondary?
So let's say if we talk about the primary market, so your additional cost includes your 4% DLD, and then there is admin charges.
Okay.
These are the two major charges which every developer is charging. Other than that, there is no additional charge that you need to pay. Yeah, some developer, what they do, they charge a cool charge is different. Then there is a DSR charge or what you call title deed charge. But mostly all the developer, what they included, admin charges, like included all your accrued DSR, title deed charges included in that. So let's say if your relative or someone want to buy the property in Dubai, so you need to he needs to keep in mind that first you need to pay the property price, whatever we agreed, and then there's a 4% DLD. Then we have a admin charge. After that, once the property is ready, then there is a few additional charges also, which we call it the connection charges, utility deposit charges. If there is a Empower or cooling, then he has to pay a deposit for 2,000 or 4,000, depend on the property. If they have a Diva connection, deposit from 2,000, or if they have a other service charge, he need to pay as an advance.
Okay.
So after that, there is no additional charges. So first you need to keep in mind that before buying the property, calculate all of these hidden charges in your book, and then you will start your journey.
Okay, so now I'm clear about the primary properties. What about the secondary properties?
So if we talk about the secondary market, we have to divide it into two parts. Either the property you are buying from as a cash or the mortgage. So for cash, the charges includes the 2% agency also in additional, and there is a transfer fees, which we call it transfer fee means NOC fees. Then there is a title deed fees. All these included in your. The broker will tell you that these are the additional charges before the purchase of the property for a cash buyer.
Okay.
Then there is a separate entity which we call the mortgage buyers. So if you go to the mortgage buyer, for sure there is some more additional charge which we call mortgage fees. You need to pay at the time of transfer. Then there is the evaluation fees also included when you buy the property. Then there is a title deed fees, transfer fees, and the agency commission. All are included at the time of transfer. So difference between the mortgage is like you need to pay property mortgage fees and then valuation fee. This is the additional fees then you need to pay at the time of transfer.
Okay. So that means if we go to the mortgage buying, that means the prices are higher.
For sure, because you are only pay 20% from your pocket, the rest 80% from the bank. So your capital is very low as compared to the cash buyer.
Okay.
So in terms of mortgage buyer, you pay a higher amount as compared to cash.
As interest as well?
As well interest also.
Okay. So can we just elaborate what about the interest charges?
The interest charges for the property mortgage right now start from 3.5% up
Okay.
to 6% for UAE residents, and if you have a non-resident, it starts from 5% to up to 7%. It depends on the profile.
Yeah, okay. So why does there is difference between residents and non-residents? Why they have different interest rates?
So you need to understand that UAE laws for sure is allowed to for residents or their nationals. So that's why they have a different policy for as a resident or as a non-resident. So there's a very few countries which allow as a foreigner also you can take a loan. Very few countries that give this facility, and UAE also one of them. But for sure there's a high risk also. So when there's a high risk involved, so they reduce the mortgage capital for 50%. Okay, instead of resident they get 80%.
Okay.
Same like the mortgage, you can say interest rate. The resident pay as low as what we have in the market, and this
Non-resident?
and the non-resident will pay a higher interest rate.
Okay, okay. So that is an advantage for residents.
For sure, there is.
But yeah, no doubt that non-residents are also getting a high benefit by getting a loan, getting a mortgage, and getting their properties.
Yes, for sure. You have to also understand that you are not a resident, you are not the national of this country. Still, you are eligible
the benefit, yes,
to buy the property and take a mortgage and just pay 50%. So still, you are win-win situation.
Correct. And what about the service charges and the maintenance charges affect the investment returns? Is it?
It's not affecting your investment. Yeah, it reduce your either it reduce your rental returns or it will increase for sure. So whenever I offer someone to my investor that okay we need to buy this property, so I give you the estimated price that okay this is the additional cost in terms of service charge, in terms of maintenance, in terms of management fee, and then after that we give him the breakdown that this property if you go to the buy as an under construction or off plan, you are still making 12 to 14% net ROI.
Okay.
Because in terms of capital appreciation, but it purely depend on the product what we are buying, what time that we are buying, and what is the unit. So these three are very important key factors.
Are there any ongoing costs that buyers should consider?
No, there's no additional cost. If someone wants to buy, if someone asking you that let's say give me I need to pay you, you need to pay this additional cost, there's no additional charges. I will advise from my investor that always pay these charges and these payments directly to the developer or directly to the companies who involved in this process.
Exactly.
Don't pay someone in the personal account because there's no trail and you just lost if something happens.
Yes, exactly. No doubt about that because UAE government have removed various options and various things. No transaction should be done on any personal accounts.
Sure.
Yes. What about the tax implications on foreign buyers?
There's no tax, zero tax. Let's say if you in rental, in returns, whatever you get it, there's no tax. There's no tax on when you sell your property. There's 0% capital tax. That's why investor attract in Dubai because in other countries they are paying 45% as a capital gain tax. So
yes,
this is so that's why the people are coming, investors are coming and make Dubai as their second home.
Okay, as you know, the buyers are paying the overall property valuation cost and the other cost as well, what we already mentioned. How, what they can do to reduce their cost and minimize their cost while buying properties?
If you talk about the two segments, let's say primary market, so for sure you need to pay 4% DLD, but sometimes developer give you DLD waiver or 2% DLD waiver, so that helps you to reduce the cost. And sometimes if you go to the pre-launch, there is different price, and if you go to the after post-launch, the prices are different. So always buy the property before the launch with a reputable developer in the primary market. So then you will reduce the cost. For secondary market, you need to understand you deal with the multiple developer, multiple owners. So you have very good negotiate skills. Then after you will get a good deal. So then you will reduce the cost. And yes, you have to keep in mind if you have your area of your property is bigger. So for sure your service charge is higher. So for investment purpose, always keep the size of your unit as smaller as we can. let's say if you have a one bedroom is 1200 square feet, you have a higher maintenance charge. As compared to the same building, same area, you will say the 900 square feet for one bedroom, there's a less service charge. So rental difference is not much. If you say
no much difference.
difference. So you need to keep in mind, don't buy like a big balcony unit, because balcony also included in service charge.
Yes, exactly.
That's also the factor people will not understand, but always keep in mind, if you are end user, I prefer a bigger balcony, but as an investor I will prefer as a
smaller balcony. Yes, exactly. And what about the penalties and extra charges while selling a property? Do they have to pay something?
No. For selling the property, if you are willing to sell the property, there's no additional charge and you need to pay just NOC fees, which is a 550 for ready property and a 5,000 approximately for off plan. And sometimes, we charge with the seller also for a 2%, because if we give a good price, let's say we give a good 12 to 14% returns, then we'll charge for the seller also. Else, there's no additional charge for the seller.
Okay, and what about the buyer?
The buyer, they has to pay and everything. As in terms of DLD fees, they have to pay transfer fees, the food and everything he has to pay.
I think we have covered up a lot in this video.
Yeah, but still, if something missing.
If something is missing now, do drop them in the comment section below. And we are going to wrap up today's session. And if you have any queries, you can reach out to us directly on our website, or even directly email us on the email mentioned below. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Till then, we can see you in the next one. Happy investing.